You're listening to Jake and the Giants, written by Brian Stewart and narrated by Sidney Stewart. You're listening to Jake and the Giants, Section 1.
Shiloh Valley was a happy place to raise a family. You could call it the Promised Land. The original settlers were little people who were tired of performing in a society that offered them nothing except exploitation. Squire Jacob and Sarah Shiloh had 3 children, Jake and Joanie, the twins, and little Jonathan. They loved their peaceful valley and family home and shared it equally with nature. The news of the beauty and the safety of their valley had attracted all of their relatives, who left the cold regions of the north for the temperate, fertile climate of the coast. They were in the Adrian mountain range from which the river Shiloh flowed, producing the most fertile plains. The high range protected them on the north and the east. To the south and west, the dense forest protected them from marauding vagabonds and thieves, as well as pirates and slavers, innumerable hordes who could decimate a population overnight. Shiloh, which means Valley of Peace, was ruled by the elected squires, who settled disputes, provided for public education, religious freedoms, and a legal system that assured no one was ever cheated. They worked vast tracts of orchards and planted the open land with wheat, rye, and a sundry of vegetables. Shiloh Valley was becoming the breadbasket of their world, shipping massive amounts of food and vegetables to their Mediterranean neighbors to the north and west. Shipments went out at least 3 times yearly in huge, heavily laden caravans, traveling through nearly impossible mountain passes known only to the men of Shiloh and their large-boned horses. The Shi lived in elaborate tree houses, choosing to stay far away from any marauding wolf packs. To the east, by the Sea of Many Waters, many warlike people dwelled. They traded their rugs, spices, and handcrafted musical instruments to the Shi, and they always welcomed the tasty fruits, vegetables, and grains brought to them, from which they made their powerful ale. The coast was terrorized by the Neffins, gold and slave-loving giants that lived in palaces and ruled in the hills overlooking the seacoast. Each trading trip, the squires saw more and more orphaned children, but they chose to look the other way rather than consider the plight of their seacoast brethren. They never intervened or offered to help. One day, a volcano erupted that would change the life of the Shi forever. It destroyed nearly all the Neffins and their warlike monkey tribes. It burned their castles and storehouses and drove them permanently from the coast, bringing them less than a day's journey from Shiloh Valley. Having no way to rebuild their palace, 2 of the Neffin brothers and their monkey servants moved into their mountainside gold mines which overlooked the Shiloh River. Lord Fee and his brother Fum worked diligently at the forge, pouring molten gold into molds to make their bracelets, necklaces, and trading beads.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?